Hi friends, welcome to today's episode of Here and Now. I am Fabian. Today we're looking at God's instruction to us in the book of Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23 to 24. It says, guard your heart with all diligence, for from it springs issues of life. It says, do not give thyself to frowardness, nor thy tongue to deceit. Guard your heart with all diligence, for from it spring issues of life. Do not give thyself to frowardness, nor thy tongue to deceit. Friends, the occurrences in our nation as a people in these past weeks have all been very disturbing. They have been developments that are grotesque and such that provokes, unpleasantries, that provoked anger and provoke questions about the wickedness in the heart of man. But in all of this, God's instruction remains that we guard our heart with all diligence. I like to share it with us from God's word to us from the Amplified Version. It says, keep your heart and guard it with every vigilance above all that you guard. Keep your heart and guard it with all vigilance above all that you guard, for from it spring issues of life. For me, I'd like us to see this very strongly, that at a time as this, the need to protect our heart, to protect what goes into our heart, to protect what we meditate upon, to protect the product of our mouth, which are also ponderings of the mind, can never be overemphasized. That is because there is the temptation to give up grounds in the realm of the spirit. There is the temptation for us to speak contrary to the counsel of God because we are angry and because we have a right to vent our vexations. God, in the book of Ephesians 4:26, tells us that you can be angry, we can be angry, but we shouldn't sin. He hasn't denied us the right to our anger. He hasn't denied us the right to vent them. But he's saying, do not sin. What is he saying in essence? He's saying in all of this evil, in all of this wickedness, he's saying we should see things from God's perspective. He's saying we should be mindful of what we dwell upon. Do not give thyself to bitterness. Do not give thyself to soul strife. Why? I share something with you in the book of Proverbs 30. God's word says, it says in the book, I think towards the end of Proverbs 30, it says, he that wriggles the nose should know that it will bring blood, and he that sows unrest, should know that it shall yield strife. And all of this, God knows that yes, we are angry, but he's saying, do not sin. Why? Because it tells us clearly in the book of James, it says, know ye not that the wrath of man does not help the righteousness of God. Therefore, ye be quick to listen and be slow to speak. My friends, before you pat your lips to pronounce or to make declarations that are not in tandem with scripture, please, God will have it that you reponder those declarations before you make them. God will have it at this time that spiritual men will arise and declare his counsel over Nigeria, that spiritual men will get their loins and speak forth their counsel of God for the country in line with scripture, and we will see it prevail. David says, because he's a man of prayer and is called a man after God's heart, he says in Psalm 19, it says, let the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, O God, my Father. Let the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, O God, my Father. Before then, he had asked God to search his heart and to try him and to see if there is any deceit. Friends, if we're asking God to search our heart, and if he tries them, will he find consciously ills that we have harbored? Do not give grounds to the devil. I want us to tarry in prayer as a people. I want us to ask the Lord, even in this season of birthing, that God will raise men for this nation whom he has groomed in caves and in the cave of Adullam. We will prevail. The counsel of God yet remains. God bless you.